Hello and welcome, Scorpio, to your zodiac messages for October. So keep in mind these are collective and general, so receive what aligns, release what doesn't. Never give your power away to a reading or an outcome. Remember that you're a conscious creator and you shift and change your timeline with your free will choice. All right, before we begin, I did have a message from Spirit to share with all the zodiacs. As I was going through and getting out the decks for this series, this popped out, and this is the candle lid, and it says, "Be fearless." Okay, so the bee may be significant in your experience as a symbol, something for you to look into. But ultimately, this message is about pollinators and to be mindful of pollinators and to be helpful to the pollinators on our planet, to live harmoniously and be aware of, any ways that we're unintentionally harming the pollinators within, our experience and within our control. Right? That's something to be aware of, or maybe just take some time to look at, the significance or the symbolism, of the bee. That could be something that is coming through here for you. But I just had to kind of share that message with everybody for the Zodiac series. All right. Getting into it, you're in a pretty powerful time here, Scorpio. So we have the Reaper card. Okay. So there's definitely something that is ending, that is needing to end in your experience. It says, for the birth of something new to manifest, the ending of something holding you back is inevitable. But I feel like this is something you're ready for. You are pretty much this sign for like the death card in the tarot, that Scorpio energy. So it's like, this is kind of your wheelhouse. This is kind of what you are used to in some ways, or that you are somewhat comfortable with. Okay. I do feel there is some discomfort with this change of releasing that which is holding you back, and maybe some discomfort around change in general in October. But when we get into the soul messages, we have, what am I grateful for right now? And we have, adopt an abundance mindset. Gratitude is the antidote of all of our problems. It is impossible to be fearful and grateful at the same time. Gratitude improves our health, opens up our heart, and changes our state. And today's soul action is the universal law of attraction, says that we attract into our lives that on which we are focused. Close your eyes, put your hand on your heart, and think of 3 things for which you are grateful for today. Notice the abundance growing within you. Okay. So if you have been in a bit of a fearful energy, or, even an energy of complaining, I've noticed a lot of random people coming up to me and just complaining about things. And it's interesting, right? Because we all need our venting time. But if we're doing it too much, obviously, what are we attracting? More things to complain about. So this might be a message for you if you kind of feel like you've been in that energy, you've been in a fearful energy. Focus on what it is that you're grateful for. And, if you're releasing something that was holding you back in October, be grateful for the new beginnings, right? The birth of something new, which it feels like it is inevitable in your experience. Now, when I asked a little bit about like how you can have more fun in October, we have the 9 of Swords and we have the Emperor energy, which is kind of funny. So the 9 of Swords is about anxiety. Sometimes it's sleepless nights, but basically what I'm getting from this is like, facing fears. So obviously it's, around Halloween time in October, and there's haunted houses and there's scary movies, and maybe that'd be something that would be fun for you. Okay. Something that you would enjoy. Okay. But we also have the Emperor, so we have a way in which you're kind of taking back your power. Some of you might, really have an amazing costume, or just really be embracing Halloween and really excited, for Halloween here. Some of you might have nieces, nephews, or even just, your own children here. Maybe you're doing like family costumes, or you're just really getting into the season and enjoying yourself. So for some of you, it might be fun. Like you might like harmless pranks or things like that, and that's something you enjoy. Or maybe it's the reverse. It's like you enjoy facing fears. Maybe you like going to haunted houses. You like, the thrill of that sort of thing. Or, you enjoy watching like, scary movies, things like that. That's where it feels like there's kind of that fun, that kind of that playfulness coming through for you here. Okay, that's definitely something that's coming through strong. Now, you have a very clear messages when it comes to kind of like where you're at on your timeline. We start with the 8 of Cups. So there's something that you're ready to release. The Eight of Cups is like you've already gone through the experiences. You know what serves you. You know what doesn't. You're ready to just kind of let it go, right? It could be something from the past. It could be a fear that you're facing. Clarifying that, we have the Hermit card, which is about wisdom. The Hermit card is about going within to discover your light. It's learning and discovering your truth and your strength. It is facing your fears. She's holding that snake there. And this is almost like kind of like the crone wisdom of going through experiences, facing fears. It's like holding that snake represents transformation and healing. So you're embracing transformation and healing and your own wisdom here. So whatever it is that you have to release that was disappointing, that wasn't working out for you, that was, frustrating, that maybe was a fear, something holding you back, energy leaks even, you know what that is, and you're going to take that action here, or you're going to at least take time to reflect on what that is before you do take action. And powerfully coming out on your timeline too, we have the Devil and we have the Strength card. Now the Strength card is the card that beats the Devil. So there's the sense of anything, whether it's like a deep fear that you're facing, or maybe some sort of habit that was sabotaging, something that was holding you back, which has been highlighted throughout this entire theme. The Strength card is saying that Spirit has your back. You have the strength. The Strength card is about responding rather than reacting, right? When we react, typically it's in fear. And oftentimes when we react, we don't always receive the outcome we desire than if we respond. And reaction usually comes from fear or wound, some sort of a wound. So with the Strength card, you're responding rather than reacting. And you're responding in a way that makes sense, that is more wise, that is more aligned with your higher self, where you kind of sit back and you decide what is the best, choice for you. But that lion there speaks of courage, and the lion speaks of kind of that quiet strength, but also that the divine have your back. There could be a very strong spirit, animal, guide, or even ancestor that is with you at this time, assisting you in facing, whatever this, either this fear is, or this toxic habit, or anything that was kind of like holding you back here. For many of you, it was something that you were avoiding, but it's very powerful. You have the wisdom, you have the strength, you have, the knowing, or at least the knowing to go within and connect in to realize that, okay, there's something not serving me here. I'm evolving and growing beyond this. I'm ready for change. I'm not afraid of change anymore or transformation. And that's something that it feels like you're embracing. So it could be, again, simply a fear that you're facing that was controlling your life, or it could be a habit, or it could be anything that was kind of holding you back. But you're really discovering a lot of strength at this time for what you are moving through here, okay? When we get into the kind of fortune messages that are coming through, we have the community for you. So this speaks about, this could be ancestors, loved ones on the other side that are being supportive. Could be that your community, you're very involved in your community in October, or your community is very supportive and helpful for you. You could be very generous in helping your community, maybe volunteering, or again, maybe receiving blessings for all of the the generosity that you have given. But community energy is definitely coming through very strong here for you. There is this sense of almost like a pride or appreciation or gratitude, again, coming through. So either, you opening up to kind of receive that support, or you offering that support to your community. Very clearly there's more of like a working class, and then there's more of like, a richer sort of energy behind here, which is coming through. But it's like you're serving your community, and it feels like your community is also serving you. I also see that doors open. So it feels like this could be this new beginning of doors opening up for you. For some of you, maybe it's moving. You're going to be relocating. Some of you, you're definitely be opening new doors. It could be for your career, but it's like doors are opening up for you here, which is really powerful. Almost like a portal energy, a timeline shift energy. When we get into the Halloween oracle, we have midnight, the most magical hour of all. So that could be a significant time for you, with some sort of door opening, some sort of inspiration or idea, some sort of love that comes forward, maybe a dream that you have, some sort of support here from spirit. Some of you might feel very energized around midnight. maybe you're channeling energy. Maybe you all of a sudden like have that motivation to tackle something you've been avoiding, right? In kind of a healthy way, but there's definitely magic that moves through you. So embrace that in the month of October, Scorpio. Some of you might also be going to, dye your hair like some sort of really unique color. That's another message that's coming through here. But you are embracing your magic. And again, there's, when it says the most magical hour of all, there's like the time being highlighted. Some of you might have been waiting on some sort of dream or waiting to take action on something. And you're realizing, that you are mortal, and it's important for you to not waste time on things that don't matter anymore. Like that's another message that's coming through here too, is like there's some sort of dream you have to create, manifest, something that you want to go for, some sort of new beginning, that you want to embrace. And so you're kind of it's like you're over, not just you're overcoming the fear or the resistance, but you're just kind of over it in general. It feels like time is definitely important for you here in the month of October, Scorpio. So you're becoming more aware also for some of you of like when, your most intuitive hour, your most creative hour, or like what time, time frame works best for you. Maybe for working, for those of you that, maybe you have like a side hustle, or, you just are taking the time to align with the time that's best for you for whatever it is that you're doing. But I am getting for some of you, it has to do with, your art, your creativity, your work, something like that. So there's a lot going on for you here, Scorpios. When we get into your charms, we have the letter R. So that could be significant for you. We have the infinity symbol. I saw like somebody with an infinity tattoo. We have the Pegasus, okay, spreading its wings. So you're definitely going to be, moving forward with some sort of new beginning, spreading your wings a little bit more than before. And I feel like it'll feel good. I feel like once you get over this initial fear, or, maybe it's a fear of the unknown or something like that, you're ready to clear obstacles. You're ready to move forward. Like you're ready to spread your wings, and it feels good. It definitely feels good here for you. We also have the sewing machine. So that could be something that you're healing, something that you're bringing together. Some of you could be working in like, some sort of crafting industry. Okay, the sewing machine could be significant here for you. Okay, some of you, like I'm seeing someone who has like inherited a sewing machine from like a grandmother, a grandparent, and perhaps like you're making your own Halloween costume, or you're making Halloween costume for, your children, or, that has something to do with your business, perhaps some form of creativity. But things are coming together. That's what it feels like with the sewing machine. And then we have the comb. So this has to do with your your grooming. It has to do with like moving through like some of the details, finding out kind of what aligns, clearing some of the snags. This could be clearing energy. This could represent, again, like a new haircut or a new hairstyle. The comb can also represent some sort of gift. I definitely feel like there are items that you have that hold energy from loved ones that are on the other side. But yeah, I see like a comb, like combing through hair and getting out the tangles or the snags. So it's almost like you're doing that on your timeline right now, or you're doing that with your mindset, right? Or, moving through these different challenges. You definitely have the strength and this courage and almost this magic on your side that is flowing, these resources forward for you. Others of you with the comb, it represents you maybe being on stage or being on some sort of platform where you're going to be more so, have more eyes on you, if you will. So like you're going to be taking the time to get ready. There's someone here who possibly like works in theater, like either like costume for theater, or, an actor and actress. So you have to like kind of get ready. You're taking more time to present, yourself in the way that you most desire to here. And sometimes we don't necessarily have the time, but I feel like you're using time in a way that works for you. So time is working for you rather than against you, because you are grateful and being more mindful and present, and maybe it's time management, something like that. Or again, just focusing on things that matter, releasing things that don't, ready to, move forward to new beginnings, ready to create some sort of dream or call some sort of dream in, right? And definitely releasing that which doesn't serve you. Some of you, it could be like overindulgence in some sort of substance, perhaps. But yeah, I mean, there's a lot of strength and powerful. I mean, you have 3 major arcana in your timeline, which are major themes in your life experience, and soul lessons and soul themes here. So, but I definitely see you taking, kind of taking back your power and being more present and mindful with how you move throughout your day, or adjusting things so that they align for you. That's definitely something coming forward. So I'm also hearing like a lot of like almost like a crowd. So some of you are definitely on stage, or you're going to be talking to a lot of people, or maybe going to some events where there's a crowd, maybe making some connections at certain events as well for the month of October. And if you care to share, you don't have to, but if you want to share like your favorite like Halloween movies, feel free to drop that in the comments. That'd be kind of fun for everybody to see. So, all right, that's what I have for you, Scorpios. Thank you so much for joining me. I hope this brought you value. Again, receive what aligns, release what doesn't. Never give your power away, right? And if this didn't resonate with you, you can always check out your moon, rising, or Venus signs. Take the best care of yourself. Be proud of what you're overcoming and this new beginning that you're creating here, and definitely enjoy your October. All right, take the best care of yourself, and I will see you soon.